If you struggle to find happiness, you're not alone. Many of us spend our lives chasing after an elusive sense of contentment, believing that it lies in material wealth, social status, or the approval of others. We tell ourselves, "I'll be happy when I get that promotion," or "I'll be happy when I find the right partner," or "I'll be happy when I have more money." But what happens when we achieve these things? The joy is often fleeting, and soon we're left searching for the next thing that will bring us happiness. This endless pursuit can leave us feeling empty and unfulfilled, as if true happiness is always just out of reach. But what if the problem isn't that we're chasing the wrong things, but that we're chasing it all? What if happiness isn't something that can be found outside of ourselves, but something that must be cultivated from within? This is where Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers profound insights. Stoicism teaches that happiness is not dependent on external circumstances, but on our internal state of mind. It encourages us to shift our focus from what we cannot control, like the opinions of others, the outcome of events, or the accumulation of material possessions, to what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and reactions. The Stoics believed that the key to happiness lies in accepting the things we cannot change, while taking responsibility for how we respond to them. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This simple yet profound idea is at the heart of Stoicism. It reminds us that our happiness is not determined by what happens to us, but by how we choose to respond. To understand how this works in practice, let's start by examining how much of our suffering is self-inflicted. When we desire things outside our control, such as the approval of others or the outcome of certain events, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Imagine a person who is constantly seeking validation from their peers. They may receive praise and feel happy for a moment, but that happiness quickly fades, leaving them anxious and craving more. The more they rely on external validation for their sense of self-worth, the more vulnerable they become to feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. The Stoics would advise such a person to turn their focus inward. Instead of seeking happiness in the opinions of others, they should seek it in their own virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By cultivating these virtues, they can build a stable foundation for happiness that is not easily shaken by external events. Another common source of unhappiness is our tendency to dwell on the past or worry about the future. How often do we find ourselves ruminating on past mistakes or anxiously anticipating future problems? The Stoics recognized that this kind of thinking is not only unproductive, but it also robs us of our ability to experience happiness in the present moment. Epictetus, another prominent Stoic, taught that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. This means that much of our suffering comes not from the events themselves, but from our thoughts about those events. By learning to focus on the present moment and accept things as they are, we can free ourselves from the unnecessary suffering caused by our own minds. Gratitude is another important concept in Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that by appreciating what we have, we can shift our mindset from one of lack to one of abundance. It's easy to fall into the trap of constantly wanting more money, more success, more possessions. But this constant striving for more can leave us feeling dissatisfied, even when we achieve our goals. The Stoics would encourage us to practice gratitude by regularly reflecting on the things we have, rather than the things we lack. This could be as simple as taking a few moments each day to appreciate the beauty of nature, the love of our family and friends, or the opportunities we have in life. By focusing on what we have, rather than what we want, we can cultivate a sense of contentment and happiness. Stoicism also teaches us to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. The Stoics believe that obstacles are not just to be endured, but to be welcomed as a chance to strengthen our character. Seneca, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." This means that every challenge we face is an opportunity to practice Stoic virtues, to grow stronger, and to find happiness within ourselves. For example, when faced with a difficult situation, we can choose to respond with courage and resilience rather than fear and despair. By seeing challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than as obstacles to our happiness, we can develop a deeper sense of inner peace and contentment. It's important to remember that Stoicism is not about denying our emotions or suppressing our desires. Rather, it's about understanding that our emotions and desires are often influenced by factors outside our control, and that true happiness comes from aligning our thoughts and actions with our values. When we live in accordance with our values, we can find happiness even in the face of adversity. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, that happiness is not about having a perfect life or avoiding pain, but about cultivating inner peace and resilience. In conclusion, if you struggle to find happiness, it may be because you've been looking for it in the wrong places. Stoicism offers a different path, one that leads inward, to the cultivation of virtues and the development of inner peace. By focusing on what you can control, practicing gratitude, and embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, you can find a deeper, more lasting sense of happiness. It's not about changing the world around you, but about changing how you see it. Remember, true happiness comes from within. Embrace the wisdom of the Stoics, and you may just find that the happiness you've been seeking has been within you all along.